Taprayesha Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Naistiki. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 9 and Text 17. Loko Vikarma Nirataha Kushale Pramattaha Karmani Ayam Tvat Udite Bhavad Archane Sve Yaha Tavad Asya Balavan Iha Jivitasham Sadhyaha Chinatti Animishaya Namaha Astu Tasmai Loko Vikarma Nirata Kushale Pramattaha Karmanyayam Tvadudite Bhavadarchane Sve Yastavadasya Balavan Iha Jivitasham Sadhyaschinati Animishaya Namostu Tasmai Loko Vikarma Nirata Kushale Pramattaha Karmanyayam Tvadudite Bhavadarchane Sve Yastavadasya Balavan Iha Jivitasham Sadhyaschinati Animishaya Namostu Tasmai. Lokaha, people in general, Vikarma, work without sense, Nirataha, engaged in, Kushale, in beneficial activity, Pramattaha, negligent, Karmani, in activity, Ayam, this, Tvat, by you, Udite, enunciated, Bhavat, of you, Archane, in worship, Sve, their own, Yaha, who, Tavat, as long as, Asya, of the people in general, Balavan, very strong, Iha, this, Jivita Asham, struggle for existence, Sadhyaha, directly, Chinatti, is cut to pieces, Animishaya, by the eternal time, Namaha, my obeisances, Astu, let there be, Tasmai, unto him. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swamy Prabhupada. Translation: people in general all engage in foolish acts not in the really beneficial activities enunciated directly by you for their guidance. As long as their tendency for foolish work remains powerful, all their plans in the struggle for existence will be cut to pieces. I therefore offer my obeisances unto him who acts as eternal time. Please repeat. People in general all engage in foolish acts, not in the really beneficial activities enunciated directly by you for their guidance. As long as their tendency for foolish work remains powerful, all their plans in the struggle for existence will be cut to pieces. I therefore offer my obeisances unto him who acts as eternal time. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. People in general are all engaged in senseless work. They are systematically unmindful of the real beneficial work, which is the devotional service of the Lord, technically called the Archana regulations. The Archana regulations are directly instructed by the Lord in the Narada Pancharatra and are strictly followed by the intelligent men who know well that the highest perfectional goal of life is to reach Lord Vishnu, who is the root of the tree called the cosmic manifestation. Also in the Bhagavatam and in Bhagavad Gita, such regulative activities are clearly mentioned. Foolish people do not know that their self-interest is in realization of Vishnu. Bhagavatam says, Matirna Krishne Paratasvato va Midhopi Padhyeta Gruhavratanam Adhanta Ghobi Vishatam Tamisram Punah Punah Charvita Charvananam Nate Vidhu Swadagatim Hi Vishnu Durashaya E Bahiraddhamanina Andhaya Dhandher Upaniyamana Tepi Shatantriam Urudham Nibadda Naisham Matistha Vadurukramangrim Sprushati Anadhapa Upagamo Yadardaha Mahiyasam Padarajobhishekam Nishkinchananam Navrinita Yavat. Persons who are determined to totally rot in false material happiness cannot become Krishna minded either by instruction from teachers, by self realization, or by parliamentary discussions. They are dragged by the unbridled senses into the darkest region of ignorance, and thus they madly engage in what is called chewing the chew. Because of their foolish activities, they are unaware that the ultimate goal of human life is to achieve Vishnu, the Lord of the cosmic manifestation, and so their struggle for existence is in the wrong direction of material civilization, which is under the external energy. They are led by similar foolish persons, just as one blind man is led by another blind man, and both fall into the ditch. Such foolish men cannot be attracted towards the activities of the Supreme Powerful, who is actually the neutralizing measure for their foolish activities, unless and until they have a good sense to be guided by the great souls who are completely freed from material attachment. In Bhagavad Gita, the Lord asks everyone to give up all other occupational duties and absolutely engage in archana activities or in pleasing the Lord. But almost no one is attracted to such archana activity. Everyone is more or less attracted by activities which are conditions of rebellion against the Supreme Lord. The systems of jnana and yoga are also indirectly rebellious acts against the Lord. There is no auspicious activity except archana of the Lord. Jnana and yoga are sometimes accepted within the purview of archana when the ultimate aim is Vishnu and not otherwise. The conclusion is that only the devotees of the Lord are bona fide human beings eligible for salvation. Others are vainly struggling for existence without any actual benefit. The Sanstha Bhaktivedanta Parpoto Madhyanathimirandasya Dhyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Ena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So Lord Brahma is glorifying the Archana Vidhi, or pleasing the Lord, and he is mentioning about the Loko Vikarma Nirata, mentioning about the people in general who are Vikarma Nirataha. They have taken a vrata of Vikarma, activities which are senseless, there is no sense. And their Jivitasham, and their goal is simply Vikarma, Pramattaha, mad. So that's why Prabhupada is beginning his purport by saying people in general are all engaged in senseless work. So the other day I was reading, one Japanese person has posted this on his social media channels. He said that I have fulfilled my lifelong ambition. That's interesting. He has already fulfilled his lifelong ambition. So now let us see what he did. A Japanese man says that he has fulfilled his lifelong ambition of becoming a four-legged animal. After spending 2 million yen, 2 million yen means the local Japanese currency, 20 lakh rupees, 20 lakh yen, Japanese rupees. And what did he do? What is his lifelong ambition? To become a four-legged animal. And then he has spent this money on a dog super realistic costume. That's the word. It's a costume, it's a dress, ready-made dress. And what is a dress? A dog super realistic. That means if you wear, you look exactly like a dog. In fact, he posted like that. You can see big dog is sitting there. Actually, that's not a dog. Inside, this man is there. And he has proudly posted that I have... so then he said, I thought that a big animal close to my size would be a good, considering that it would be a realistic model, so I decided to make it a dog. And then 27,000 people liked it. Our lecture, some 50 people will listen, and then 5 people will say. 27,000 people liked this super dog costume because he has fulfilled his lifelong ambition. So people don't know that this life is precious, and they don't know that it will go like a flash. Within no time he has to meet his ending point. They have no such ideas. And his ambition is to become a four-legged animal. So that's why Bhagavatam repeatedly says this, Nate viduhu swadagatim hi Vishnu. No, Bhagavatam is exactly addressing this issue only. What is that? What is your swardhagati? What should be your lifelong ambition? What should be your ambition? It says they don't know that it is Vishnu. Now why Vishnu has to be glorified? Why he has to be? He is the ambition. That is explained in the last verse. He is the root. He is the root of this entire cosmic manifestation. He is the root, he is the tree, and everybody is nothing but a part and parcel of the tree, including dog or including any four-legged animal. So if instead of making a tiny part of this entire cosmic manifestation as your lifelong ambition, a four-legged animal is just nothing but a tiny part and parcel of the entire cosmic manifestation. So instead of focusing on some tiny things here and there and making it as a life ambition, why don't you make the root of that animal, the root of the entire cosmic manifestation, The one who has generated all this as a lifelong ambition. This is what Bhagavatam is saying. But then people, they will not understand. Why? Durashaya, bahiraddhamaninaha. They have one asha, and that is called durasha. What is that durasha? They want to find happiness in this world by enjoying the way they want. People say, it is my body, is me, and then whatever I want to do, I can do. Why are you putting your restrictions on me? This is called moral policing. They call it as moral policing, For example, moral policing means sometimes some people, they say, no, don't do this. They correct people, other people. This is moral policy. Both moral policies and the people, both are vikarma nirataha. Both of them don't know what is the actual goal of life. So, real beneficial work means, here it is mentioned, it should be given by Krishna. Any work which is given by the Lord, approved by the Lord, any work which is satisfying the Supreme Lord, only that can be called as really beneficial work. For example, we are looking at this man and he is saying, yes, becoming a four-legged animal. He doesn't know how much suffering a four-legged animal has to go through. He has no idea. He is so fascinated by becoming a four-legged, and then he is saying, it's fulfilled. But he doesn't know that in the next life, he will become a four-legged animal. Actually, a big dog or something. And he doesn't know what kind of a horrible experience he has to go through as an animal. Unfortunately, many human beings, they think that animal life is better. They envy dogs and cats. Such a nice life they have. So, मेरा गोल भी वही है. They think, okay, unrestricted, such a free life, looks like that is much better than a human life. But they don't know what the jiva goes through in that sharira. They have no idea. A human being is developed consciousness, so he can feel what is suffering. He can undergo what is suffering. Their consciousness is so dull. So, that's why here it is meant, vikarma nirataha. Why they have become? Because here Bhagavatam is saying they have taken a vrata, gruha vrata nam. They have decided that at any cost, I am going to enjoy in this world. Bahiraddhamanina. And what is that enjoyment? Which is, bahihi, available all around him. So, they are unmindful of the real beneficial work. Beneficial work means what is given by the Supreme Lord. So we think, okay, his endeavor to become four-legged animal is bad, but then there are so many nice things are happening. There's people are working on many beneficial works. They are doing a lot of beneficial and humanitarian and welfare works in this world. So that is good. So people think like that. But actually, that is also vikarma nirataha. If the work has no connection to Krishna's pleasure, Vishnu's pleasure, then that work is also useless, senseless. It is also vikarma. So this is a very strong, the statement of the Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. It never encourages this senseless work. Sometimes read one news that one person became very compassionate towards the villagers. They thought that they are missing out on enjoying the latest modern inventions. So what he did, he took them to, he wanted to give them an experience of an aeroplane ride. So some 20-25 people he has sponsored, and they all had went from here to somewhere. That is also not a Tirthasthala, some useless place. And then he brought them back. All the villagers are, they are in tears and they are in happiness, and then he is very happy. So is this a beneficial work? Radha Govinda ki jai. Bhagavatam is saying it is senseless. That means nonsense. Senseless means nonsense work it is. Where is the benefit? Where is the benefit? Now all those 25 villagers will be thinking now, when will I ride again? when is my next flight experience? So that I can go and see more of such, some waterfall or some big tower or some useless place. Let me go and this will become their goal of life. Bhairaddamaninaha. They think the pleasure is all over outside of them. They think that's the pleasure. Bhairaddamanana. They externally oriented. Whatever this energy is offering, that they think is the goal of life. How to enjoy to the fullest possible, this is what they are thinking. So, that's why here it is mentioned, what is that? Blind man leading the blind man. He has money, but he doesn't know. Andha yathandhe upaniyamana. He has no idea what is the real beneficial work. If he really wants to do like that, he could have taken them to some place where Vishnu is residing, and then engage them in some archana regulations, some worship of the Supreme Lord. That is okay. That is beneficial. So, people have no idea how to discriminate whether this is a good work or akarma, vikarma, karma, akarma, vikarma. They have no idea. No discrimination of how to distinguish one karma from the other karma, they have no idea. What is karma, what is vikarma, and what is akarma? They have no idea. So Bhagavad Gita explains this. The real akarma means when we do something, it should please Vishnu. That is akarma, no reaction. Any other work will simply bring misery. It will simply harass the person. So kushale pramattaha, then why are they doing? This is all madness. Yes, people are simply running towards doing more and more mad work because they have not understood what is kushala, what is beneficial. The real beneficial work is pure devotional service to Krishna. That is the real one. Then you may say, no, people are very religious. They worship many other gods. Now this is the season, now we are seeing. They're all doing a lot of religious and they're very devoted kind of works they are doing. That is also pramatta, madman. That is also vikarma. Simply it is piling up kalmasha in their consciousness, layer by layer, layer by layer, layer by layer. Tomorrow when they want to become devotee of Vishnu, these layers will not allow them. Maya will not allow. And you are only piling up the Maya inside your own system. Every work of Maya gets recorded in this universe. And we have to deal with it. It may look like a very religious people and this and that, but if they are not worshipping Vishnu, Krishna, under the Archana regulations which is given by the Acharyas, then they are simply wasting their life. They are simply glorifying someone for their tiny activities. Simply they glorify people, worship people for their tiny activities. Like one person has in a hot boiling pot, he has stirred with his hand, is stirring. So that has become a big, what to say, a very big activity. Oh, see how he is stirring, and then they started worshipping. Built so many temples and they started worshipping just for stirring. And you see, so those temples, they'll put that fasting, so-called activity as the main thing, stirring. If you purchase 10 rupees, one spoon, we can repeat the same activity, stirring. Hare Krishna kya hai? 10 rupees spoon, that's all. For 10 rupee activity, so much of glorification and worship, building big temples. Pramatta, mad. People are called mad. They have no idea whom to worship and what to recognize. That's why Prabhupada is saying here, because of their foolish activity, here it is mentioned. Yeah, such foolish men cannot be attracted towards the activities of the Supreme Powerful. They don't get attracted to the activities of the Lord. Lifting a big mountain, Govardhana, little stirring. This is very good. 10 rupee activity. Now lifting a Govardhana hill, can you repeat it? No human being can ever achieve. Whatever may be his scientific advancement, you will see, you will not be able to achieve. Can anybody make a big stone float on the water? You will see, it can never be done. That is God. So that's why foolish men cannot be attracted to the activities of the Supreme Powerful, who are actually the neutralizing measure for their foolish activities. What is the neutralizing measure? So they are doing activities, foolish activities, but then you cannot stop them. That's only a stopgap measure. Sometimes people are engaged in a lot of foolish activity. Some people will say, silently baito. Silent. He'll be silent. For 7 days they'll make him silent. That is one workshop. You have to pay thousands of rupees. And what are you doing, sir? Silent. Phone, laptop, sabhi, rakho, dhu rakho. Bato. I'm very happy. Why? Foolish activity has been stopped. Like a restless child. And then, okay, better. It works for some time. For small time it will work. Again, once he comes back to his house, comes back to his town or whatever, again he will start his foolish activity, senseless work. So that's not the solution. The solution is, tell them what is the right activity. He has energy, he has time, he has money, everything. Instead of spending on foolish activities, why not you divert your energy, time and money and all the assets that Krishna has given you? Why don't you engage in these archana regulations? Why don't you spend for temple? Why don't you spend for worshipping the Lord? That they cannot understand. That's why here it is mentioned, Nishkinchananam navrunitayavat, unless they worship the Mahiyasam, Padarajobhishekam, one has to take the dust of the lotus feet of Acharyas and spear all over his Abhishekam. He has to do, that with the dust he has to do the Abhishekam. Then only he will say, yes, I think till now whatever I have done is all foolish. Let me now focus on something beneficial for my own life. It's not easy, people. Like I remember when we were about to construct this temple, we did a Bhumi Puja here, so in the southwest. And so somebody is coming and saying, Swamiji, how much is the whole project cost? Those days we were thinking of the budget cost was around 100 crores. So I told him, see, we are going to spend 100 crores. Then he said, Swamiji, why are you spending 100 crores? Why don't you spend it for poor people? So many poor people are there. You can do one hospital, you can do some poor this. When we want to do something beneficial, Archana, focusing on the Lord, satisfying Him, that's no. Why don't you do pramatta? Why don't you do that vikarma? They're coming and requesting. Why don't you do vikarma? Sir, why don't you do vikarma? This is what their encouragement. They come and preach as if that is going to, So I told him, sir, if you allow us to build this temple, anyway you will not give 1 paisa, but anyway I have to explain to you. You allow us to build this one temple, you will see thousands of youngsters. After coming in touch with this temple, they will give up their horrible habits. Thousands of families will give up their horrible habits. No drinking, no drugs, this, that, so many things they will give up. And if this movement grows, more and more people give up these horrible 4 habits, then you can close all hospitals. Why? Because there is no requirement. Why devotees? Then you may say, no, devotees are also, we are seeing they are also having some diseases and this. Because we are having diseases because we are living in this pramatta, among pramattas, all the mad people. They are spoiling all the air, water, this, that and all that one. We have to live here. Why we have to live? We have to tell them this is the beneficial work. To tell them devotees are taking risk and then they are living here, they are doing big, big temples and then telling them, sir, this is beneficial for you. This is not beneficial. For example, smoke, that drinking or drug or whatever, everybody knows it is not beneficial. Still they do that. See? You see the power of that Maya? That's why here it is saying, Yastavad asya bhalavan iha jivitasham. As long as he is strongly attached to his tendency for foolish work, he knows this is very foolish. He is spoiling his own body. His liver will go. Everything will be finished. He knows that. But still bhalavan, very strongly, very powerfully is attached to all these works. So that's why devotees should be very, very convinced that the only beneficial work is this archana. Narada Pancharatra means Lord Narayana, he himself has given how to worship the deity. And so that is called archana regulations. The world should be geared up in encouraging these temples and beneficial work of learning how to serve Krishna, how to serve Vishnu, Narayana. This is beneficial. Anything else will be simply comes back to him as a reaction, and then he will be ultimately he has to suffer. So even if he has fulfilled, now this fellow has fulfilled his desire, now will it be a permanent thing? Here it is mentioned, Sadhyaschanati animishaya. All these plans will be finished by animishaya, means the eternal time. Even he is happy that I have fulfilled my ambition to become a four-legged animal. How long he can? The time will finish him off. Nobody can fulfill his desires to his satisfaction. Time, Kala will finish all his ambitions. And to that time, oh my Lord, you are that time, Namostute. This is intelligence. The cause of that time, the cause of that animal, the cause of all, I want to. Then I came across one more news. In America, there is one person, I don't want to tell the name. The local, is an American young man. He is gone crazy or something. He has, in America and all these European countries, very strong racism. Racism means they discriminate on the bodily color. If you are brown, brown means Indians. If you are little brown or blackish, and they are all white. Yeah. So white people have a superiority. What is that? We are white, so we are great. This is their pramatta understanding. So on the basis, they suppress, they try to suppress or they try to discriminate against the other colors. This is called racism. So now this man, inspired by that racism, he has killed 17 people. 17 people he has killed, other color people. And then he went to the jail and all that, and then he was hanged. As a punishment, the court has, hanged him. And then recently, that person's spectacles were auctioned. Auction means, people can come and purchase, auction. Somebody will say, I'll give 200 rupees. Somebody will say, no, I'll give 400 rupees. Somebody will say, I'll give 800 rupees. And so like that, when they auctioned it, it went for $2 million. 2 million. If a murderer's spectacles have become so popular, you can see senseless. People have no idea. But Archana Vidhi means we greatly respect the paraphernalia that is used by the deity. Shesha Vastra, Prasadam. Like we honor every day little Chandan, Tulasi. These are all accepted by the Supreme Lord. Directly, Krishna has directly used all this. And that Lord's remnants, this is Archana Vidhi. So people have to be taught. They have a tendency to get attracted to somebody, and then they want to purchase his articles and this and that. The tendency is there. But it has to be directed towards the actual Archana regulations. So that's why temples are so important. Temple construction is so important. And people should spend for such Archana activities. Otherwise, they will be forced to utilize their money and energy and everything towards useless, foolish work, which will only bind them more and more to this world. We'll stop here. Any questions? Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
హరే పుల్వారి మరో అపురూప కానుక హరే కృష్ణవాణి ఆధ్యాత్మిక మాసపత్రిక. ఇప్పుడు మొబైల్ యాప్ ద్వారా కూడా సులభంగా పత్రికలు చదువుకునే సౌకర్యం, వార్షిక సభ్యత్వం, భగవద్గీత, భాగవత ప్రవచనాలు, స్ఫూర్తి సందేశాలు, ఇంకా మరెన్నో సదుపాయాలతో హరే కృష్ణవాణి మొబైల్ యాప్ నేడే డౌన్లోడ్ చేసుకోండి. మరిన్ని వివరాల కోసం కాల్ చేయండి 9133107700. హరే కృష్ణ